Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Irham Ashraf from BSc Honors third year. Our topic is water treatment plants in Pakistan. First, I would like to thank our dear teacher Dr. Sadaf Iqbal who encouraged us to learn more about water treatment plants all over the Pakistan. I would like you all to have a look on our group members who gave their 100% to create an informative session. The presentation outlines the following points. Number 1, introduction. Number 2, names of water treatment plants in Pakistan. Number 3, water resources. Number 4, principles and basic general steps of treatment of water in plants. Number 5, supply and quality of treated water. Number 6, expenses to make the plant operable. Number 7, advantages, disadvantages, or consumers' opinion about water quality treated in plants. Number 8, measures taken now to make the quality of treated water better. Treatment plant is a system of machines that are responsible for purifying water. A step-by-step treatment of water is carried out in a treatment plant. Here is a brief introduction to water treatment. Water treatment is a process that makes water more acceptable for daily use. All the contaminants from water can be removed through its treatment in the plant. Wastewater from sewage, industries, and other resources can be treated. The treatment plant can also treat raw water as well. Water shortage in Pakistan. Pakistan receives around 145 million acre-feet of water every year. It can only save 13.7 million acre-feet and other part is wasted. Pakistan needs 40 million acre-feet of water. 29 million acre-feet of our flood water is wasted because we have few dams. Importance of water treatment plants in Pakistan. Pakistan has now become a water deficit country due to depleting ground and surface water resources, and also due to the lack of water restoration bodies. In short, water treatment plants are important to reduce wastage of water. Raw water treatment ensures purification of water for drinking and other purposes. There are many water treatment plants all over the Pakistan. Few of them are mentioned below. CBC water plant located in Karachi, Water Care Services located in Lahore, CDA water filter plant located in Islamabad, Aqua Development mineral water plant located in Rawalpindi, FSD water treatment plant located in Faisalabad, Chiltan Aqua water treatment plant located in Quetta.
Sources of water for treatment plants. On the basis of impurities present, water is classified as following: municipal wastewater, industrial wastewater, saline water, and river water. Municipal wastewater contains impurities such as human waste products, food scraps, oils, soaps, and chemicals. It is the water that comes from our showers, bathtubs, sinks, washing machines, dishwashers, and toilets. Industrial wastewater is the water that is discarded from industries. It contains industrial pollutants. After treatment, the industrial wastewater may be reused or released to a surface water in the environment. Saline water actually contains high concentrations of dissolved salts such as sodium chloride. This water, after removal of these particles, can be used. River water contains pollutants, microorganisms, dirts, and particles. In the upcoming slides, we are going to discuss about how in Pakistan river water is purified and through which processes and how it occurs.
Working of water treatment plant in Pakistan. In this slide, we will talk about how water treatment process flow. The overall process for purification of raw water is basically done through coagulation, flocculation and sedimentation process. The major water treatment process at Sangjani Water Treatment Plant includes raw water extraction, screening, coagulation, flocculation, sedimentation, rapid sand filter, disinfection, storage, and then distribution. Here you can see the schematic diagram of water treatment. Now we study the steps involved in the water treatment process. So the first step is the screening. Water from the Khanpur dam is conveyed to the receiving well through pipes utilizing the gravity flow. Receiving well is equipped with the screen and its function is to remove the large floating materials, plastics, leaves, etc. from the raw water. After screening, the second step is alum mixing chamber. Chemicals used in the Sangjani water treatment plant are the alum for the coagulation and chlorine for disinfection. To remove the suspended particles in the form of turbidity, alum is added in water. The third step is the coagulation chamber. In coagulation, we add a chemical such as alum which produce positive charge to neutralize the negative charge on the particles. Alum mixed water is then conveyed to the coagulation chamber. After coagulation, the next step is the flocculation. The microflocks from the coagulation chamber further agglomerate to form flocks in the flocculation chamber. The water from the coagulation chamber is passed through zigzag path created with the use of baffles in this chamber. There are 8 units of flocculation chamber. After flocculation, the another step is the sedimentation. Water flows to a tank called a sedimentation basin. Gravity causes the flocks to settle to the bottom. Large particles settle more rapidly than small particles. There are 8 units of rectangular sedimentation basins. The sixth step is the rapid sand filter. The rapid sand filtration process is used for filtration. The media utilized in the rapid sand filter is silica sand with the effective size of 0.6 mm and filter depth of 0.76 meters. There are 20 filter beds at the Sangjani water treatment plant. After the filter is operated for a while, the sand becomes clogged with particles and must be backwashed. Backwashing is done with the help of air scouring and water wash. The backwash water is then sent to the sludge lagoon. The seventh step is the disinfection process. After the water has been filtered, a disinfectant, example chlorine, may be added in order to kill any remaining parasites, bacteria, and viruses and to protect water from germs. Only one chlorinator is functional at Sangjani water treatment plant and the chlorine contact time of 20 minutes is maintained. The last step is the purified water storage tank and distribution. Treated water is then transferred to the concrete storage tank. Pumping of the clean water produced at the treatment plant to the community is called distribution. This can be done directly or by first pumping of the water to reservoirs or water storage tanks. Treated water is then pumped to 19,000 meter cube reservoir at Shah Alladita for Islamabad.
Supply and quality of potable water. Continuity of supply and water quality are two important elements of drinking water services. Supply of potable water is characterized by some achievements and many challenges. Despite high population growth, the country has increased share of population with access to an improved water source from 85% in 1990 to 92% in 2010. According to Pakistan's Social and Living Standard Measurement Survey of 2010 and 12, the main sources of drinking water are as follows: the groundwater, 32% comes from tap water, 28% is supplied by hand pumps, 27% by motor pumps, 4% dug well, and 9% others. Groundwater, tap water, and motor pump are major sources in the urban area, while the rural areas mainly relies upon the groundwater or the dug wells. Sector-wise supply. Sector-wise supply, there's a difference between the water supply to the urban and the rural areas, mainly due to the population difference. Urban areas consist 36% of the population, which has about 57% connections to these sources, which I mentioned previously. They have 57 of these connections to their houses, and so they receive much water supply than the rural areas, which has more population, about 64%, but they only have 15% of the connections, such as taps and motors, and so they mainly rely upon the groundwater, and they have to adjust to the quality they receive. Continuity of water supply. The odds of water supply to the major cities of Pakistan are different. There is no city in Pakistan which has 24/7 water supply. Water supply. According to Asian Development Bank, that indicates a continuity rates of 1 to 10 hours in Karachi, 11 to 15 hours in Rawalpindi, and 16 to 23 hours in Lahore. For whenever there is discontinuous water supply, the main reason could be the power blackout or targeted load shedding. So in this case, the consumers rely upon the storage tanks they may have underground, or the roof tanks, or they purchase from the tankers. Water supply coverage by provinces. The national average of 96% access to improved water supply hides provincial and regional variations. The survey of 2010 shows the following results. This is the water that is supplied to these provinces, but not all the water that is supplied to them is used, and not is accessible to every person in the province. The portion of population without access to improved urban water service ranges from 4% in Sindh and Balochistan to 15% in Azad Jammu Kashmir. The rate in KPK and Punjab was high at 8 and 9%. The total population of cities without access to improved water was 6.5 million in 2010 and 6 million in 2012. Urban level of supply service. There are different sources to which water is supplied to the provinces. The Punjab has supply from tap about 46%, hand pumps supply them by 8%, motor pumps 37%, and dog well 1%, while Sindh has tap water percentage 72, the Sindh and hand pumps 7, and 17 by motor pumps, while the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has a water supply through tap water by 63, hand pump 8, motor pumps 20, and dog well 4, and the Balochistan is given as follows. Now the quality of water. What should be the quality of the water that is given out by the pumps, by the plants that are working in Pakistan? There are parameters that are set by WHO and UNICEF, which must be overcome by every plant that is working in any country, which will make water drinkable. But due to the alarming increase in population and rapid industrialization, drinking water quality is being deteriorated day by day in Pakistan. About 20% of the population is able to receive safe drinking water, while the rest 80% is forced to drink the unfit, unsafe drinking water, due to which there are many waterborne diseases such as typhoid, diarrhea, and worm infections. Secondary sources. There are many sources of the contamination of water. The primary may be the sewerage contamination, and secondary may be the toxic chemicals from the industries or the fertilizers and the agriculture disposals, which are rain into the water bodies. There have been many deaths due to the waterborne diseases. About 80% of all the diseases are due to the water due to the waterborne infections, and which causes 33% of the deaths. These are the quality guidelines at the right side, which are set by the WHO. These are the limits and the parameters such as pH and the minerals, which should be uh, in the proper amount that is given by them, like copper, zinc, chromium, lead, calcium, magnesium nitrate, and what should be the hardness of water. So Pakistan on the right side is able to achieve most of them, but copper, lead and magnesium are at very high amount, which should be controlled, which may be result in many diseases and many health problems, which should be controlled and checked by Pakistan water treatment plants.
In this slide, we are going to discuss the expenses of water treatment plant. The first expense we have is the water tank. The water tank is required to store the raw water. Now there is a huge range of plastic water tanks according to the quality and capacity to store the water. The tank, which can store about 500 gallons of water, costs us around 16,000 to 20,000 rupees. After this expense, the filter is required. We all know that this is the era of technology. Technology has changed a lot of things, and no doubt it has made a lot of things better. So, we should have a plant which has more functions and can work more faster than others. So, for this purpose, a filter which has 3 to 4 panels, including sand filter, carbon filter, paper filter, and reverse osmosis panel, is needed. After the filtration, the TDS level of water almost becomes zero, so mineral dosing is necessary. The filtered water is now stored in another kind of plastic tanks. So this is the other expense. These tanks cost us around 30 to 60,000 rupees. They are expensive because the plastic used here is of food grade and water can be stored here for like 5 to 8 days usually. Now, in the final stage, a filler is required. It has a crowning machine too for capping the bottles. And obviously, the manual one would be less expensive and does not require much electricity. But on the same page, automatic filler and packaging machine is more expensive because it goes around 2 to 4 million rupees. So, these all were the expenses that we are going to have in the treatment of water.
Advantages, disadvantages of water treatment plants in Pakistan. First, we will discuss about the advantages. Number 1, capable of removing 97% of suspended particles. Water in the treatment plants goes through all the treatment procedures and gets purified. Number 2, improvement in soil fertility. Sludge is the product of wastewater treatment. Sludge contains nutrients that are essential for improving soil fertility. Number 3, soil treatment cost reduction. Cost or expenses spent to improve the fertility of soil gets a reduction. So we can get water recycled as well as soil fertilized. Number 4, minor odor problems in water when treated properly in treatment plants. There are less chances of having odor problems in potable water if treated properly. Number 5. Treated water from any sources can be restored and reused for daily purposes. This is the most important advantage of water treatment plants. Water restoration. Water can be recycled and reused. As we have few dams in Pakistan and there is much shortage of water, we have to restore and save water. That's what the treatment plants are using for. Let's move toward disadvantages. Number 1. Temperature changes affect the plant's tank greatly. For water treatment plants, optimum temperature is needed. However, temperature changes may affect tanks greatly. As a result, we get untreated water. Number 2. Health risks. Recycled water may contain harmful bacteria or chemicals that have not been removed properly. Water from any sources may have bacteria, chemicals, or other harmful contaminants. If not removed properly, these can have very harmful effects on consumers' health. Number 3. Sludge process for treating wastewater has high operating costs. Wastewater treatment has a sludge process which has a very high cost to make the equipment operable. That also affects our economic values. Number 4. Air stripping units can only take out chemicals that can evaporate. Air stripping can help in removing up to 99% of pollutants from water, but its disadvantage is that all stripping units can only take out chemicals that can evaporate. Rest of the chemicals are in water are left untreated. That's all about the advantages and disadvantages of water treatment plants in Pakistan.
Some aspects of water treatment plants in Pakistan. The treatment process posing most difficulty for daily operation. Here are some points. Point number 1 is the treatment plants lack a sludge treatment unit. The settled sludge from the sludge lagoon is disposed of manually with the help of a valve to the nearby stream. Number 2 is inorganic pollutant from the cement factory located upstream pollute the raw water. Another aspect is the water service management, posing most difficulty at the moment. Number 1 is a lot of treated water is lost in the distribution line in the form of non-revenue water. Illegal connection on the line are the main reason for high non-revenue water. The distribution network is good, but the problem of illegal connection is the main issue. Number 2 is to increase the water pressure, the sum of the customers uses motors to pump the water. Number 3 is the distribution line is also old and need frequent repair. Measure taking now to cope with these aspects. Number 1 is to remove or reduce the illegal connection on the distribution line. Security guards are hired. Number 2 is investment make the plants improvement. Some technologies, facilities or other type of assistance needed to better cope with operational and management difficulties. Number 1 is treated water meets the WHO and PAC and EQS water quality standards, but the problem lies in the distribution network. Intrusion of sewage water in the distribution line are also recorded. Due to mixing of sewage water in distribution line, the drinking water becomes contaminated and causes different type of diseases. Another point is the distribution network needs to be upgraded and proper monitoring is required. Customer opinion on water quality and water services. Customers are satisfied with the quality of water but not with the quantity of water. Due to the higher population growth and high per capita water consumption in Pakistan, the quantity of the supplied water is often the issue from the consumer end. We can resolve this issue by providing sufficient amount of water so we can cope with the consumer problems.
In these slides, we will briefly discuss the measures taken now to make the quality of potable water better so that we can get the safer and cleaner water. Water is the earth's most precious resource and is the common need of every creature. The water scarcity can be removed by proper treatment of water and its supply, making sure we have clean water to sustain all living things. We need to expand water storage, reduce water waste, improve water productivity, and develop a framework for proper treatment of water. How water is conserved, used, and distributed in communities, and the quality of water available can determine if there is enough to meet the demands of population. Water treatment plants are being upgraded accordingly in order to provide clean water. Water quality must compete the limit prescribed by WHO. In Pakistan, improvements are made in order to cope with water challenges and provide safer water to the population. Water policies are made for proper supply of water across the provinces. Water treatment plants are switched to solar powered plants, especially in rural areas where availability of electricity and water is the biggest challenge. The newly solar powered purification plants are installed in Thar Parker that will treat 3 million gallons of water daily, enough to meet the water needs of 300,000 people and other 80 villages. We are turning towards desalination to meet the growing demands of clean water. The RO desalination plant has the capacity of supplying 2.5 million gallons of drinking water per day. Commercially, filter plants or RO plants are installed in order to overcome the needs in town. Sanitation and wastewater treatment systems are installed. Industrial wastewater recycling technologies such as advanced filtration and zero discharge closed loop water recycling system can help alleviate some of the strain on our water supply and decrease the water pollution. Effluent treatment process reduces the expenditure of water. The different parameters are monitored through different devices used to maintain the quality of water. The quality of water is put under consideration. The proper maintenance of the treatment plants are made to prevent blockage in pipes, and the different sections of water treatment plants are monitored as all the part of it is working properly.